Ransomware attacks are in the news almost every day, and you might have noticed me covering them quite a few times. But did you know that business email compromise attacks are almost 64 times worse than ransomware? The FBI's Internet Crime Complaint Center has recently reported that all the complaints they have received in the past 3 years, the most striking and the highest reported financial loss has been due to business email attacks, leading to a total loss of 1.8 billion US dollars. In this video, we will learn more about these attacks and how they occur and what you can do to detect and prevent these attacks. Hi, my name is GreatHorn. Welcome to Sekaurity, where we will together explore information security and leadership concepts using simple ways that anyone can understand. Business email compromise, or man in the email, is one of the most financially damaging email attacks run by cyber criminals, where they target employees to trick them into giving sensitive information about themselves, other employees, customers, companies' innovations and technology, or to wire money or get them to click on that malicious link to download malware to infiltrate into their network. Most people don't carefully validate sender email addresses or notice that slight discrepancy in website link. And these attackers are taking advantage of that by crafting legitimate looking email messages using a slightly different website or email address to make it look like as if they are coming from a known source. FBI classifies business email compromise attacks into 5 types. Number 1, the bogus invoice scheme, in which an attacker poses as a supplier or a vendor and asks the victim to transfer funds to a wrong account or sends you an invoice but with a wrong mailing address. Number 2, CEO fraud. This is where the attacker impersonates a key executive or a CEO to use their power for the transfer of funds by asking their assistant to purchase dozens of gift cards to send out as employee rewards. The attackers will also make it look really urgent by asking the serial numbers so that the CEO can email them right away. Number 3, account compromise, where an attacker leverages an employee's compromised email account to penetrate the organization and then request vendors for payments. Number 4, attorney impersonation, in which the attacker pretends to be a lawyer and launches an attack during business hours, pretending to be discussing some crucial matter with the employee. Lastly, the data theft method, in which they try to gain access to employees' and executives' data through which they can lend the next similar attacks on other employees within the organization. Talking about the process of how these attacks are executed, they exploit human behavior instead of technical limitations. Attackers initiate their campaign by preparing a list of targets along with their email addresses, which they can find on LinkedIn, business email databases, or through various social media websites. Once they know who they are going to be targeting, they set up a fake but real-like name and email address through which they launch these business email compromise attacks. Then, these attackers leverage social engineering techniques by impersonating the CEO or someone from the target's finance or other key departments. And lastly, these emails are crafted in a way to show that urgency by putting pressure so that you need to act right away, making it very difficult for employees to quickly and easily recognize these threats before becoming a victim of financial fraud or data breach. As per an email security solution provider, GreatHorn, 43% of organizations experienced a security incident within the last year, right? Out of which 35% of organizations claim that phishing or business email compromise attacks were more than 50% of the incidents they experienced. The impact of these attacks were significant, and of all the business email compromise attacks reported, 36% of attacks then later on led to compromised accounts, 24% led to malware downloads, 16% led to loss of data, and 16% to fraudulent payments. As per this report, finance departments are a biggest target of these type of attacks. 57% of the attacks were targeted on finance employees, followed by 22% on company CEOs. Let me share top 5 ways to protect against these type of attacks. Number 1. Implement a strong, secure email gateway to detect and block a spoofed domain before it gets delivered to recipient's mailbox. Number 2. Implement advanced email protection products such as Proofpoint to help detect and effectively block against malware and non-malware email threats such as email fraud like business email compromise. Number 3. Implement security awareness training and phishing simulation for your employees so that they are aware of such attacks and know what to look for in an email to avoid becoming a victim by changing their behavior of not sharing personal information on social media, such as their pet names, schools, and birthdays, which can allow adversaries to crack the security questions and potentially access their account. Number 4. Implement strong identity management and account security practices for a stronger defense against account compromise through strong passwords, which are changed at a regular cadence, and deployment of multi-factor authentication on all email accounts. Number 5. Sign up with threat intelligence groups in your industry, such as FS-ISAC, REN-ISAC, or HISAC, and others to get threat intelligence feeds and know the latest business email compromise attacks your industry peers are experiencing so that you can set alerts for indicators of compromise. As covered thoroughly, business email compromise is a big risk, and businesses or companies should not take it lightly. What are your thoughts on business email compromise attacks? Let me know in the comments below. Please like, subscribe, and share my channel for more support. See you next time.